Good evening, traders. Today is Wednesday, December 8th, and I have Matt here. Hold on. Here we are. Hello, Matt.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. I just traded the MNQ. This is micro. I want to trade the micros because it gives me less of a risk. And basically, I started like 1 hour before opening, and usually there's a setup there. And I was able to get a trade right here. Where did I enter here? Oh, right here. So basically, that was more like, how many points was that? You can see I made 110.50 on just one micro contract. So that was a lot of points. I got in here, right here, all the way down here. That was approximately 55 some points on the micro and Q. It's a good start. In fact, my target was really down here. Yeah, I would have reached it anyways. This thing, I'm basically this. You see these 3 red lines and 3 green lines. That's another free indicator that I use for the intermediate class. It's basically called a center of gravity. It basically shows you the trend and so forth, where it's going down. And again, this is a 987 tick chart. So now we're going to be trading the ES. That's how enter a trader for one of the evaluations. Okay. So what I usually do is basically look at the 987 tick chart, which is like here. What I have in the 987 on here is basically a 50 EME, one of the moving averages, and also have a 12 and 26 that mimics the 12 and 26 on the MACD. So basically this mimics the same 12-26 on the MACD. So when it crosses over, it gives me a signal, and that's where it tells you there's a crossover between the 12-26. And usually when I use these entry points here, it basically indicates that there's a good entry point here, because now the 12 and 26 is below the 50 EMA. So there's another type of I use this to just on the 987. Anything that's not 610. On the 610, basically I use the indicators that I teach for the basic, right? So anyways, what I use the 987 tick chart is basically looking at the macro, more of a macro view as to what the market did during the overnight session. As you can see here, it started off and basically it just went. There's the VWAP right here, went back down and back up, basically just oscillating, no real direction, except now we have a down direction from this point up here. We created the high of the day over here, now it's the low. We broke it here, one tick break, and what did it do? It reversed. So that was basically a bear trap. A lot of breakout traders would trade right here, get stopped out. So now I have my VWAP. So if we're looking at the chart, so right now our overall, here's the what we call the ETH VWAP, or electronic trading hours VWAP, and the black line here is the RTH VWAP. There's a gap between there, not that big, and usually price will tend to close that gap. So right now we are right at looks like it's going to try to close this gap and then come back down. We'll see right now. So the price is between the two the VWAPs right now, but looks like we have a downward bias since we are below the 50 EMA. Now we're looking at this and more on this. What you see is same thing you can see on our chart here, on our 610 chart. Where is our overall trend to the downside, right? Where is our immediate trend? So that's the question. Where is our immediate trend on here? Is it down or up? Can you tell me, Matt?
Right at this moment.
Right at this moment, where the price chart is right, or price line is right now. What's the immediate momentum, up or down?
Well, it looks down.
Okay, it's usually up. Okay, when we go through this, because basically it's still connected to the mid-band here. We have a space up. Do we have a space here? Let me see here. Yeah, that's enough. So basically you're up. That's up. We still have no disconnect here until here. Now it's down. When you asked me right here, it's up. Correct, because there's no space. Now we created space here. So now we have a immediate momentum down. Overall trend is down. So where you usually take a trade would be right here, one tick. Because what's going to do, it's going to come back down, create that space. Now it's going to pull back to the mid band, and basically that's where the VWAP is right now, the RTH VWAP. It never pulled back yet, but we expect that to pull back. It's now approaching the low of the day. We'll see what happens here. In fact, if I was going to trade this, let me see here. So you're with Apex. You have the trade copy here by any chance?
No, I don't have it because I never had multiple accounts.
Ah, okay. Well, basically, you don't have to have a multiple account. You can also trade it. Let me see here. Sim. You can trade it using the micros, but using the ES chart, for example. I'm going to do crossover, which is I have there. What was it? Account I used another one. Is it 31? Okay, hold on. Where's my NQ chart? 31. Okay, 31. So this is just tacking. That would have been a great trade if I just kept it going. 31. So let's say right here. The thing is, I just want to do a right there crossover. It creates a trade in the MES. My ratio is going to be exact quantity. I'm trading one contract on a regular contract on a E-mini. It's going to convert to one contract on the micro ES. So here's the ES we're looking at. We want this to pull back here. Right now, we hit the outer band here. We may look for a strike, just maybe a overrun. But now, our overall trend is to the downside, and our immediate momentum now is also to the downside. So we're just going to be waiting for a pullback here. So let's look at the other one, this one right here. I want to make sure where my VWAP levels are. I am my immediate or deviation levels are. Usually when it hits a -2 or +2 deviation, that's when it starts reversing and trying to go back to the mid band. So now again, we created a new high, a low of the day. And you can see now it's building support right here, meaning the momentum has slowed down, even though our fill line is still angling down. Where's our MACD? Here's the thing I'm talking about.
Order submitted.
Hold on. Let me see if I got this right. The control center. Okay, it's not global. Okay. So see that there's an overrun. Like I said, it's going to overrun because it wasn't outside of it hit the outside of the outer band. So most likely what happens is usually it overruns, and that's what it's doing right now. That's why I didn't take the trade. You can see here. You see this, these bars here, basically what does that indicate? Strong momentum. So it's trying, when you take a trade here, it's probably unadvisable. It's almost like trying to stop a train. Basically, if a train is going down full speed ahead. So now here's the pullback. Let's see if it's going to continue going down. I just didn't want to place it there because I know it's going to overrun, which it did. And my risk is usually only 2 points. Now we're looking at this, so what's the band spread? It's 11. It's kind of high. Well, if you round it off, it's 12. But I can still trade. So usually when you have 12, like a 2-point stop will probably not take it. That's why you have to time your trades, especially when you have strong volatility, strong volatility. So now we came from there, like remember I said, -2 deviation. What did it do? It went back, hit the VWAP. Most likely it's going to hit this. Let's see up to here, maybe minus or +1 deviation and come back down. Let's see. I'm looking at this on the left chart on my 987 tick chart. Now look at that. Right in the -1 or +1 deviation. Let's see if it's gonna continue going down. It may. because of like our center of gravity. The red line's meaning there's a probability it's gonna start coming down. So right now, where's our immediate momentum? Up or down?
I was trying to get some of my charts arranged.
Okay. Okay.
Let me look here.
Yeah.
Well, you're up
Yeah. Exactly. Okay. Just want to make
'Cause
sure
you
you
have
got that right.
because you have a round clearance.
Right. Right. Exactly. Good. Overall trend is down. Immediate momentum is up. So there's really a conflict right now. Now we may get a reverser depending on if we hit this. You can see here. There's a swing high right here. Let's see, horizontal. Right here, right at 90.25. Right there. And basically it's using that as resistance. Let's see what's going to break it. If it does break, then we may be looking at a slight, we can take a trade here to the upside. But since it didn't break that high right there, most likely it's gonna start coming down. So that's why I have this sell right here. So there it is. Let's see. We want to create a immediate momentum. Right now it's still up. We want to see a change in immediate momentum to the downside. Look at the MACD right here. Just look at the MACD. Now you have spacing to the downside. You see that strong momentum to the downside. So I'm not going to take a trade here until we have confirmation that we have a change in immediate momentum. Immediate momentum is still up. Look at that MACD. It's still going down. Right now it's still above the plus 30. Let's see if it's going to break the plus 30 and get to the zero line. So when we have an overrun there of the mid band, we want to see a break to the upside if you want to take upside trend. Let me see. There might be a break here. So let me see here.
Order
But
canceled.
I'm not going to take
Order canceled.
right there. So now there's a possibility there's entry right here. So let's take that.
Order submitted.
Because now there's really no change in immediate momentum. Again,
Order filled.
that filled my my micro contract. It didn't fill this one. So let's see if it's gonna break there. Again, it's testing that.
Order submitted.
I have a 2-point. Let's see who's going to test that. Again, this is for 3 points. Or we can put this on to 2 points, but I'll leave it at 3 because the volatility is pretty strong. Will this go back down now? I'll do it 2 points instead. 86, 88, 75. So basically 88, 75. And 89 would be fine. See the fill line? It's flat, meaning there's no momentum. That's why it's doing what it is right now. But I think I can get 2 points out of this. But look at the MACD, it's going down. Let's see if we can get 2 points. If not, this is probably gonna stop me out at 2 points. We'll see. Again, very no momentum at all, flat fill. It's right at the VWAP, doing nothing.
Order filled.
There we are.
Oh, nice.
Yes, we just have to, I'm not scared. I'm not scared of losing 2 points because we can always make it up.